What up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is SumnSumnSumn. Hit the keys. This is the second of many more tutorials to come. In case you didn't see the last one, check it out. It's a fire trap tutorial. Just teaching you how to basically build melodies and everything from scratch. Today we're going to keep going in that direction. I've already loaded up the Electric Grand 80. It's from Waves. It's one of their VSTs. I'm actually going to start with Fruity Keys though, and I'm going to show you guys something with these chords that I was showing you last time. When you're looking to put chords in and you're not sure what really, if it's major, minor, so on and so forth, Fruity Loops will tell you. So you can just come down here, you can hit major, and then boom, it'll put all these up here for you, and all these notes will go into that scale. So you don't have to even figure it out. It does it for you. We're not going to go that route though. I just wanted to show you guys that. What we're going to do today is something a little different. I'm going to show you guys how to make your own ARP. All right. So what we're going to do is I'm going to make this beat at 160 to start because I want it to kind of be like more of like a slapper. In order to make an ARP, I'm just basically going to move this over, and then I'm going to move this over. Shift C copies, Control B moves copies and paste it over. I'm gonna do it again and again. Oops. But this is basically going to be the base for the beat. And this is how it's going to sound. And then I'm going to push Shift C. I'm going to push Control B. I'm going to move it over. And I'm going to move it down an octave, or down just one note. And this is what it's going to sound like to be the base of the beat. So that's what we're going to start with. I'm going to see maybe if I can, let's see what it sounds like down an octave. So what I'm probably going to do with this beat is I'm going to use both those keys. So whatever I do with it, I'm going to make it bounce back and forth between up an octave and down an octave. You're going to learn today. So I'm going to put some notes underneath though to make it a little fuller. All right, and now I'm going to take those notes and I'm going to go ahead and pitch those down so that we get that deeper bass sound from the piano. So you saw I copied all that, and then you're just basically going to push Control down, and it takes it down an octave. So we're going to go ahead and run with that for right now. Now we're going to go ahead and come over into this electric piano, and we're going to see what we can find in there. So I'm just going to copy, and I'm going to paste that into here. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and run with that. That sounds kind of dope to me. All right, so now that I got that, I'm still gonna go find another instrument, maybe in Omnisphere. And what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to find maybe another ARP, because I like the way that sounds, all that sounds together. So cool thing about Omnisphere is they make it kind of easy for you to find what you want. I'm not gonna get you guys this time with the loud obnoxious noise. I know you didn't like that last time. All right, so you see how I went to ARP and BPM. Now I can hit type right here. Hey, we got background noise. I can hit ARP, or I can hit type, and I'm looking for a melodic noise. So boom, we got something melodic. I'm just gonna randomize it so that I don't hear the same stuff that I hear every time in order. And let's go. All right, so I'm gonna show you guys something a little different. than what I did last time with mixing. Today I'm going to show you guys a little bit of something that's called gain staging. You don't have to necessarily do this all the time. Sometimes I do this, sometimes I don't do this. That's what part makes music so fun, is that you can do whatever you want. So sometimes you might gain stage because it's just a little different than what you do. Sometimes you might not. You can still get a fire beat either way. But with gain staging, basically we're making it so that we're going to be setting levels for our instruments as they go into the mixer. So a cool thing that you can do is I just pull up this Fruity dB meter, and then I come over here and I push this detached, and now no matter what I do, it stays up, as opposed to if I, so if I come over here and hit this, it's going to stay here. Opposed to if it's not detached, then when you push this, it goes away. So I want it detached so that I can just look at it during the whole song. And I'm going to show you something that I do. All of you guys may not necessarily be able to do this for the simple fact that you use all the plugins and stuff over here. But I just keep it right here the whole time. And then I send everything to a different mixer track, obviously. 1, 2. So what I'm doing right now is I'm sending these to different tracks. So if you look below down here, as I scroll this to 3, you see it goes to the 3rd track. Pretty cool, huh? All right, so we're going to gain stage this. So in gain staging, basically I want my instruments, like my melodic instruments, to be around 18, and I want my drums to be around 12, and then I'll mix from there. And then that's an easy way that's going to guarantee that your mix is going to come out between -6 and -3 every single time before you even mix down the beat. And that's pretty cool, because you want your beat to be at about -6, because once the artist gets the beat, they're going to rap. And once they put their voice in, it's going to take it to -3. And then once they get the song mastered, it's going to take it to 0, or to -1 or something like that, wherever the master leaves it at. So you want to always make sure that you're leaving headroom for your other artists, because otherwise they have to turn the beat down, and then it changes the complexity of how the beat sounds when they have to turn your beat down. So you always want to make sure that you give them the product and it's ready to go. Now you see how that's hitting right at 18? That's where you want it at. And so what this is basically doing is this volume right here controls the amount of volume that goes into the mixer. So this is how much is going to come here before any plugins hit it. So if you get it to -18 before any plugins hit it, it's going to sound better when your plugins, your reverbs, and all that stuff hits it. It's not going to sound as distorted and as loud. All right, let's see about these keys. Another thing that I am going to have to go and do is change the velocity of the keys, but I'm not really too, I'm going to do that. It's the next thing I'm going to do. Stuttering again like Joe. Stutter, stutter. Sorry, I could not resist. I don't know if I'm going to use that ARP in the background, but I'm going to mess with these keys real quick. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to change the velocity. So the keys, remember how I told you guys last time, you always want to make sure that we change the velocity a little bit so that it sounds like it's more realistic playing. So what you're going to do is push Alt R for randomizer. And then you want to make sure that your bipolar's off, so that it sounds a little better, like, they level better. So if you have the bipolar on, it shoots them all over the place and it's just a little too much. But if you turn that bipolar off, then it'll sound a little better. You guys hear that? But you hear the difference in that, right? It's like night and day, to me anyway. You guys know what I'm about to say next, right? Bring in the 808s. You knew it was coming. We're going to go back to Simon Servita. Again, I understand that you can do a lot of things from over here. I'll show you guys how to do that, but this is just how I like to do it. Again, sometimes we do things a little differently just to keep ourselves entertained. I don't know which 808 I'm going to use. We're just going to start with this one. Another thing to make sure that you guys always do, in case these aren't on, if you come over here to your helpers and your notes aren't on, you can't see what's going on, you can just hit your ghost channels and boom, it has all your notes. So that's a base for you to go off of for you to put your 808 pattern. So you know where it should hit at. You were probably not going to run with that 808. I don't know what's going on there. Again, you want to always make sure that you cut itself so that the extra bass sound won't lag on to the next note. Now we're going to go ahead and take that down an octave. A lot of times, I know you watch these videos and you don't understand why producers will put the bass notes in all high and then drop them down. It's because when you do this, you know exactly where the note's supposed to go. So, you know what I'm saying? You can hear it better. You can hear how the note's going to sound better. And then once you move it down, it should, you know what I'm saying? In theory, it's the same key. So it's a C, but it's just moved down up, you know, an octave. So it's still going to sound the exact same except for a lower sound, lower bass. All right, so what we're gonna do next is I'm gonna add a couple claps up in here. Get some claps, some snares. I only have this up because last time I told you guys if you guys need new sounds, this is the kit you need to get. This O&J main stash. This was like one of the kits that I was using before I could, you know, purchase some better sounds or make better sounds really. And I'm gonna use some of those sounds in this tutorial just so that you can hear some of them. Shout out again to Simon Savita. If you guys need to watch videos to learn, Simon Savita is a great with the beats. BusyWorks Beats will teach you all kinds of stuff about music theory. Produced by Ocean, goes hard in the paint. He's from England, but the accent sounds dope. And I've also been listening to a lot of Ed Talenti lately. He's a guy from Spain, but he makes fire beats and he uses his own instruments. So that's kind of dope too. And like I was telling you last time, you know where the claps go if it's above 120. So the claps are going to go on the 3 and the 7 every single time if it's above 120. And if it's below 120, the claps are going to go on the 2 and the 4. Another thing to think about when you're making beats, realistically, once you get into double time, like so if you're making a beat that's 150, it's the same thing as making a beat that's 75 BPM as far as where the claps are going to go. So if you put the clap on the 2 and the 4, it's the rhythm and the beat tempo is going to sound the exact same as a beat that's 150 with the clap on the 3 and the 4. But once you start getting up into double time, you can give your beat a different bounce because you have more places to put your drums, you have more places to put your stuff because there's just more notes, if that makes sense. So basically 2 bars equals 1. So you have a lot more places in here to put different sounds for that one, to complete that 1 bar. All right. So now I'm about to find some hi-hats and throw them up in there. You already know we love the hi-hats. I'm going to show you guys some stuff with some rolls on the hi-hat today too. I got this one hi-hat I love. I'm currently considering marrying this hi-hat right here. We've got a great relationship. She makes me feel loved. All right, we're gonna start off by filling every 2 steps. You don't always have to do this. Sometimes you can paint it in. Sometimes you can, you can play them. But for the sake of time, I'm just going to go with every 2 steps, and then I'm going to send it to the piano roll, and then we're gonna get busy. So what a lot of people do with these rolls is they'll put one roll here. What you can do to paint the rolls easier is you can like go to your snap and then change it to 1/6 beat. Get your little paintbrush, and you can figure out which one you want to play. So we're gonna run right there, and if you paint it, bam, bam, up, nope, but we want it to be smaller. So boom, we've painted. And then you can do like another one that's leading up to it. So and then boom, you can even finish, you know, the little the bar with one. See how that sounds? Sounds phenomenal. So, and then other things you can do is put like little accent notes in there. We're going to leave it like that. But now what we're going to do is we're going to randomize the hi-hats to make it sound as if, you know, somebody's actually playing the drum kit. So you can go Alt-R again, and it'll randomize it for you. But then you can do what you want from there if you don't like that. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just come down like every other one. Gives it a little different feel. I see how that's going pretty hard in the paint, right? So now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna put some perks in. I'm gonna go back and put another counter melody and all that stuff in, but I kind of got off on a different path. So sometimes, you know, I think I said this in the last tutorial, I like to put my counter melody in second, but if you're feeling it, like I was feeling the 808s right away, so I was like, let me get those in there before I forget. Then I was like, I kind of want to go with this hi-hat pattern. So it's like, you know, you don't want to have to necessarily bog yourself down and use the same exact workflow every time, because sometimes that's how you get stuck. That's how you get beat block, is if you feel like you have to make the beat the same every single time, then, you know, you're going to get beat block eventually. So let's go. Let's find us a little, I think we already have a kick drum in there. Yep. When you are putting together your perks and you're adding stuff in, this is like a puzzle to me. So when I look at this, I look to see where I have space in my puzzle, and that's where the next piece is supposed to go. So like, you know, the hi-hats, you know, obviously we know hi-hats are going to interact with everything, because they're going to hit when bass hit, they're going to hit when your perks hit, they're going to hit when your slaps hit, they're going to hit when your claps hit. But when you're looking at everything else, you see how all that stuff sounded pretty good together. So if I turn all this off and we just listen to only the percussion, everything has its place in the beat. So everything is where it should be at, you know? That's pretty cool. So we're going to go back to the gain staging for a second because I got away from that. And that's partly why everything sounded all funky, is because I started gain staging, but I didn't finish gain staging. So if I would have never started gain staging, then you wouldn't really, it would have just been a loud mess, but you wouldn't really have noticed so much. So remember what I told you last time, the 808's a melodic instrument. So we want to make sure if we're going to gain stain, it's going to be 18, just like the rest of melodic instruments. All right, so now we're going to listen to this and see what it all sounds like together. Obviously, I know it's still not mixed, but this is just where you, if you do gain staging, you'll get a start at your mix. Gotta unmute everything. Got him. And you see how it's already over here at 6, and this isn't me messing with any levels or doing anything. All I've done is gain stage. My melodic instruments to 18 and my drums to 12. Going to use the standard open hat, and then what you can do too a lot of times with when you're making beats, you know, like every 4 bars or so I like to transition my beat up, so then you just have this come in on that first beat, and so when I make the beat out, this is only 2 bars in my mind because it's double time. But when I make the beat out, I'll put this on every other one of these. So I'm just going to actually, I'm going to copy and paste that. And then I'm going to move it down a note. And sometimes if you notice that your thing is off when you try to control B it, just drag it over to the beginning, and then you can move it back over, and then it'll allow you to put it into place. See? All right, so now that we have that, I'm going to go back into earlier when I had this little ARP. I still want to add an ARP in there just so that I can give it another little flavor to the beat. So then after I get that, then I'll be ready to arrange and get the beat going. Oh, I knew that was going to happen. Oh, no. Oh, right when I was going to save it. Did y'all see what just happened there? That's what you get when you don't save your project. I'll be back in about 20 minutes. Guess who's back? Back again. All right, I'm back. Make sure you save your projects. I guess that might have been the greatest lesson that I could have ever taught you guys on any of these tutorials. Make sure you save your project. So I basically got the beat to come back. You didn't get to come back, but I just remade the beat. And then I found a different flute that I was going to put underneath instead of the one flute that I was going with at the end of that. And I found another ARP noise. So I was basically done anyway, instructing you guys on what we're going to do. I'm going to show you the one last little thing I'm going to do. And I'm going to show you something cool too. So you see how I have everything here on the mixer. So that's how I like to start it. But then I'll just go ahead and paste it here. And then I'll come over here to where it says pattern. And I'll split by channel. Boom. And I got all my stuff split now. And then I like to have it set up a certain way. So you'll notice when you see me, sometimes it does this, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it'd be nice to you, sometimes it's not. There we go. But I like to set my stuff up a certain way. So I like to have all of my melodic stuff up top and all my drums on the bottom. It just makes it easier for me to look at when I'm breaking everything down. And then I like to have it in a certain order too. So I like to have my, you don't have to do this, but I like to have my my 808 as the first, the break in between the melodic instruments and the drums. And then I like to have my kick, then I have my claps, then I have my snare, then I have my hi-hats. That's just how I do it every time. You don't have to do it like this. You can do what you want. But this is just how I do it because it's easiest for me to look at it when I'm mixing the track down. It's easy for me to know that all my melodies are on top when they're up top. So that's just how I like to do it. I'm going to show you guys the last little thing I'm going to do to this beat. And then I'm going to arrange it and come back and have the beat for you. So I'm going to make this unique. And then I'm going to go into it and I'm just going to make it go down an octave because I want to have I just want to have them go up and down, up and down, up and down as the beat plays. That's going to be my switch. So it's going to switch from that to the high, but I'm going to do that with all my instruments. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and mix this down. I'm going to go ahead and arrange it, and then I will be back with the final product for you guys. Sum, hit the keys. All right, guys and gals, thanks for watching the video. Make sure you hit the subscribe and like button. Make sure you hit that notification bell so every time a new video comes out, you can be the first to know. Let me know what tutorials you want to see next in the comments, and see you next time. Sum, hit the key.